And welcome to the Galactic Federation. This is the wonderful druid ship Earth 1, and we're navigating from deep space looking at the beautiful blue planet Earth. And this is Project Bluestar from the year 2000 to 2012. Very shortly I'll be crossing down to Danny live at Earth Sanctuary World Nature Centre in the heart of Central Australia, and we're going to be looking at some planetary observations and news from around the world, exactly what is happening with climate change and how readily these activities are occurring in all continents around the world and how it's transforming the way human beings live with each other. Later on we're going to look at global rescue and the topic of floods and get an idea of just how severe the nature of floods are occurring around the world, and also a bit of MILK with Tombstone later on. But first up, let's say good day to Danny boy down there at the beautiful Earth Sanctuary. How you going, Danny?
Yeah, magnificent, Tommy. Hello to you up there in the craft, and to all the other Federation superstars. And there's 1,000 members up there on the druid ship, and they're all working diligently to try and get all this information out to the wonderful people on the planet Earth. So it is magnificent. As you said, Tommy, we were talking about floods today, and there's a heap of information that we've got for you, which is directly from the site. So without further delay, we'll jump back to the craft and get it started. Good on you, Tommy. Rock and roll.
Great stuff there, Danny. Great to see the Nature Centre is looking fine and dandy. We are on the 30th day of the 12th month, 2007, and it is the countdown for the end of the year 2007. And what an amazing year it has been for climate change. It seems to indeed be an exponential figure. The advent of floods and ice melt, the severe storms, cyclonic activity up there in parts of Mexico, even the top end of Australia, northwest, northeast of Australia. It is indeed very active. But first, let's get down to planetary observations. Back to Danny and check that out. We'll get back and look at some floods. Over to you there, Danny.
No dramas, Tommy. How we doing? Oh,
Right.
Magnificent. We're back online. Yeah, speaking of floods, Tommy, there is floods obviously occurring right around the planet. We can use the term the shock system, as we do in paramedic studies, where there is a definite fluid shift occurring around the planet Earth, and there is no need to look any further than the climatic warnings which are occurring around the planet. And you can jump to millicom.com on this day of December, and you can have your own investigation on some of this information that's popping up on our site at the moment. But just to look at a couple of stories from around the planet, particularly over there in Asia, where they're experiencing torrential downpours, which just overnight on Friday sparked fears of further landslides in Indonesia on the Java Island. And that's causing further dramas. And obviously right next door in Sri Lanka, due to torrential rain resulting from that northeast monsoon, districts of the eastern, northern and north central parts of Sri Lanka have been experiencing the 20th, and it's causing grief for thousands and thousands of people. And next door to Sri Lanka again is the Philippines, where flash floods that concerned residents there last Thursday night washed out 9 houses and affected 280 families in 3 different villages there in the Philippines. And across the road on another part of the planet in Illinois, where they've got snow falling, another form of obviously water. Ain't flooding, but when that melts it will obviously cause flooding. More than double 30-year average of 6.6 inches for December, where winter's third significant storm on Friday blanketed much of Chicago region. So Tommy, that precipitation which is occurring due to the warming temperatures right round the planet Earth is obviously causing dramas for everyone around the planet, whether it's in the form of snow, whether it's in the form of flooding, or drought, where they're not getting any water at all. So yeah, back to the craft, man.
Yeah, indeed there, Danny. Just how prepared are human beings in relation to the advent of climate change is one thing we're constantly investigating. We look at the number of cities from around the world, and looking at the large populations, be it 80% of the world's populations are indeed on the coastal regions of the planet. These regions, by all means, are exposed to a greater number of floods than any other part of the world. We're looking at ice melt occurring in the Arctic, North and South Pole, Greenland, as well as Iceland, and this increase in water precipitation is going to mean an enormous displacement of human beings on this beautiful blue star sitting right behind me. How we deal with that? Well, that's just the mission of Global Rescue. Let's have a quick look to script facts when it comes to floods. We understand under the umbrella of the Galactic Federation and the Environmental Defence Network, we look at Millicom, Earth Sanctuary and Global Rescue. Global Rescue deals with flood and mitigation procedures, and she has a damn good look at how people are prepared and how they respond to these severe events that occur around the world. Some simple facts that we can look at, and might have been an interesting one to you, Danny. The most obvious one was most people in floods seem to be killed whilst sitting in a vehicle, and that's a bit of an interesting one. Another fact I saw recently on some information coming from the planet Earth was that even in hurricanes and tornadoes, the greatest cause of death, even up to 90% of it, is from drowning based on the floods that occur in it. More facts here state that a car can easily be carried away in just 2 feet of floodwater, and in some of the severe floods that are occurring world, we're seeing that even at the advent of the flooding itself, we're getting walls of water anywhere from 5 to 10 feet, and that is absolutely punishing some places. What do you think about that over there, Danny?
Yes. Well, obviously, Tommy, people are still continuing to try and get their minds around the concept of climate change. This is going to continue to occur until we can in our little fourth dimensional, let's try third dimensional here on the planet Earth minds, where we are on a changing planet, and we have to make sure to adapt to this form of life in which we've reflected and inflicted on the planet Earth. So, to be quite honest, Tommy, you just got to get with the program. You know, we've been watching and monitoring these activities for some time, and I'm afraid you just got to get to it, get with the program.
Oh, there's just no doubt about it, Danny. It is all about taking action, and people indeed get into a feeling of complacency. It's understandable. The human mind gets fixated on where it's at, and we're creatures of habits, the human beings, creatures of habit, and certainly understandable why these creatures of habit become very slow to change. But the advent of climate change seems to be to outweigh such a state. Anyway, back to the main scraps on flood around the world. Just 6 inches of rapidly moving floodwater can knock a person down. And as you see, that might just get up to halfway up to your kneecap, unless of course you're a cicada or a cricket or a grasshopper, but that's enough. It's all it takes of rapid moving water to knock a human being down. And finally, since the year 1990, or the 1900s for that matter, in the United States alone, more than 10,000 lives have been lost by flood alone. So there's some amazing from around the world. I think it's time now to get back onto MILK for some music, for some high vibrations. And how are we doing down there, Danny? I might jump in my craft and get down and join you.
Yeah, you've got about 1 minute to do so. And obviously today's tunes, where are we, you little cracker? Today's tune is none other from MILK. And we're playing a tune called Tombstone. Now, we've got a few emails the last couple of days that we're not finishing our tunes, but that's what's going on around the planet at the Earth, where we are trying to get as much information to the people of this wonderful planet as humanly possible, which gives us about 40 seconds for Tombstone to kick in. So, Tommy, sit back and we'll have a bit of a crack, eh?
Sounds great, Danny. Wonderful to be back here on Earth.
Oh, it is wonderful. Have a crack, mate.
Tombstones are grey, yeah.